Welcome to the Tepper School of Business Multimedia Series. For more information on the Tepper School at Carnegie Mellon, please visit us at www.tepper.cmu.edu/multimedia. And now, here's your selected video.
My leadership style, I think, is just what I would say to anybody when you think about leadership is be yourself. And I've seen so many different types of leaders, people who walk in the room, have to take charge, sit at the head of the table, and people who want to just sort of disappear into the woodwork until it's time to lead at the very end. My father is a great leader and is always the last person to speak in a meeting, not the first person, and I've seen many leaders take charge, follow me up the hill. So I think it comes down to, for myself, it's evolved over time. When I was a little younger, I liked to be the first guy out the door and follow me. And as I've gotten a little older, I sort of try to coach and be a little better of a mentor and listen better, and I've tried to improve my style. Ultimately, I think people follow someone they trust, they respect, that they think has integrity, and I don't think the style matters as much as caring about the other person and setting a tone. You can first of all start, when you think about social responsibility as it meets business, by talking about what it means to your brand. And so as a pure business matter, I think consumers prefer to do business with a company they think cares, has quality values, helps the community. There are many different examples of that. But for me, I'm a little less focused on the company, and I'm thinking more about the employees and thinking about they want to work at a company that also has a heart. So one of the programs we have is Comcast Cares Day. Last year, we had 50,000 of our 100,000 employees, tremendous turnout rate, show up on a Saturday unpaid with their families to volunteer in 500 different community service projects. And even though I know that helps the company's image with those 500 communities, personally, I think it made the employees feel better about their co-workers, themselves, and set an example for their families. And so I think it's hugely important to be involved, but for really the team aspect and the knowing you're doing the right thing. You just feel great at the end of the day. You're a little bit tired, and you say, this was maybe one of the highlights of the year, and I didn't think so when I woke up this morning. As I think about why someone would want to work for Comcast, I've really thought that's probably my number one job, is to create an environment that the best people would say, this is where I want to work. So as I look at what we have that's different than others, I begin by saying we're a family company. My dad started the business. I've been doing this for almost 30 years. And there's something about lack of politics and a smaller company feel, even though we're a much larger company today. Secondly, however, we're not a small company anymore. We're one of the most dynamic media and entertainment communications companies. So I want to be professionally managed. And we've been recruiting people that are better than my dad or myself for many, many years in what they do, and that we have real expertise with a number of our employees. And then finally is sort of an entrepreneurial culture. Even though we've gotten larger, I really want to maintain that you feel like you own the business yourself. So you have a family culture, professionally run, and you, the employee, can make a difference. If we could just do all that, and everything else will take care of itself. The tough business problems, the best people will come and want to work here. And if you have an open door and you build on integrity and you're fair to your employees and you recognize their achievements, we're going to continue to thrive. Traditionally, Comcast has been a cable television company for the first, call it 50 years, not quite 50 years. And my view is companies have to evolve, and cable itself has evolved over those many, many years from just a community antenna to when Ted Turner and HBO came along, we became a pay television company. And now we're the largest residential broadband company in America, and now we're in phone and commercial services. So companies have to change. Content also has been going through an amazing evolution, and NBC was sitting inside GE, and we just thought that this was an opportunity to put together two very successful companies. NBC Universal is actually not only about NBC and Universal. In fact, 80% of the company is not NBC or Universal. So it's a bit of a misnomer. It's got wonderful cable channels and broadcast network, and CNBC and USA is the #1 channel, and Sci-Fi and Bravo and many, many other wonderful assets worldwide. Universal has a great film library, Univision. So Hispanic, many areas of growth. And the thought that the two companies could work well together, it hasn't worked in the past for others, so there's definitely some skeptics and cynics. And so we had to make the right deal. We're going to buy 51%. GE is going to remain our partner for many years. And I think we can put more focus on it than GE's been able. GE has got wonderful opportunities to grow internationally in infrastructure and what's happening with their core businesses and financial services. So in the media business, which is changing so quickly and so dynamically, it was a bit of a perhaps misfit at this stage, and they weren't investing, and this is their own words, and they looked for a partner who would say this would be very core to their company, and we could transform them and help them grow and restore and invest. So we'll see, but we're very excited. We're going through the review process now and hope in the next few months to conclude that successfully and get on and try to build a great company. Well, my view of Carnegie Mellon was a bit of a personal discovery last year when my son was looking at colleges, and I had a daughter look at colleges, so I've now looked around the country a lot, and I'm not sure I've seen anything that comes close to the uniqueness and the special nature of Carnegie Mellon Tepper School. And I'm not really just saying that because I'm here. First of all, I'm here because I want to be here, and I'm here because I really respect this institution and would like Comcast to have more folks from Carnegie Mellon in Comcast, because I can see how well and how smart and successful I think many of the students will be. Our Chief Strategy Officer is a Carnegie Mellon grad. The Chief Technology Officer for Cable Labs is a Carnegie Mellon grad. So inside our industry, and we have about 4 or 5 other key executives at Comcast who went to CMU. So there's no question, great institution. In fact, I had to cancel coming here in October because we were working with GE about the NBC possible partnership. And I was talking with Jeff Immelt, the CEO of GE, and was telling him I'm canceling Carnegie Mellon. He said, we think that's a great school to recruit from. So the reputation goes across all industries, and the students that are here are lucky, and companies such as ours that can recruit you will be even more lucky. Find something you love and work with people you respect. And if you do those 2 things, I think you'll have a great career. So easier said than done. For me, I always wanted to work for my father. That's not right for most people, but for me, that's what I wanted to do. So the fantasy could have ended and the reality could have begun the day I first went to work in my first job. And then what is, in my case, cable TV, and I've been lucky enough to be in a business that keeps reinventing itself every few years with new products and new technologies. So in today's world, you know, you may start out and think you love something and it's not right. Don't be afraid to try something different. If you think you can be an entrepreneur, there's never been a better time than to try to start your own business. The tools of the world today, the dynamism of it is very, very different than when I came out of college. That being said, if you don't work with people who can mentor you and you can be on a team with that you don't respect, you can have the greatest idea in the world, but you're not going to feel good about yourself when you're all done. You're not going to enjoy going to work. sad but true, you spend more time at work than you do at almost anything else in your life. So you ought to love it, you ought to respect it, and ultimately that will be the basis of great rewards. Obviously, hopefully you're in the right kind of industries that are growing, not shrinking, and that's where I just feel lucky because I didn't make cable. My father made cable and I just wanted to work for him.